I'm just gonna say it because I've tried to film this intro like 5 times. 99% of pro and celebrity makeup artists don't use primers. They just don't. But here's the truth. While we absolutely prep the skin, we're not using those heavy silicone based primers that the beauty industry loves to sell to us. And neither should you. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to ditch the primer and how to upgrade your makeup routine with smarter skincare and better setting techniques, so your makeup lasts longer and it looks better. Most primers are just an extra layer on your skin that get in the way of your makeup, and I would rather help you spend your money where it actually counts. Okay, so we're starting with a clean and dry face. I don't have any skincare on right now. The only thing I've done are my brows because I prefer to do my brows before I do any of my skincare, any of my makeup, just to make sure that they're placed exactly where I want them, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my brows, so I wait to do any skincare. Speaking of skincare, that's the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to helping your makeup last, not having to use a primer. Skincare is so important because it doesn't matter what primer you use. If you use the wrong skincare, your makeup isn't going to last. So what I prefer to do is just avoid primers altogether. I hate primers. Okay, hate is a really strong word, but for some reason, I just can't get them to work for me. Every time I use a primer and I do make it work for me, I don't like the way the makeup comes out. I've used them on brides, I've used them on red carpets, I've used them on clients. I just don't like the way it makes the skin look. It just seems flat to me. I don't know what it is. And I feel like there are better ways to prep the skin, set the makeup, so then you don't have to use a primer and your makeup still lasts all day. Now, one of the first things I'm going to show you that I like to do to prep the skin in lieu of a primer is using setting spray as a primer. I know this is not revolutionary. I know that people have been doing this. I know that Milk Makeup actually has a prep, and I think it's a prep and set spray that you can use before and after makeup. And that is actually what introduced me to the idea of, oh, why can't I just use setting spray before I do my skincare to create a barrier between my skin and my makeup, and then use it afterwards as well. And also, believe it or not, because I have these crazy brushed up brows that I know are very polarizing on this channel. People either love them or they hate them. That's fine. I love them. I'm a firm believer that you should do what you want and you should do what you love when it comes to your own face and makeup, which is why you can take all of this with a grain of salt, right? I am a pro makeup artist. I've been working in this industry for over 10 years, but you can also watch this and go, I'm gonna do what I want. And you know what? You are more than welcome to do that. I'm just here trying to be helpful, trying to share tips and make the world a better place in my own little way, right? Okay, so back to my brows. I was noticing that when I was working hot days, my brows would fall sometimes because I would get sweaty and get hot while I'm working. And I realized the days that I prepped my face with setting spray, my brows wouldn't fall. So I thought, why don't I just use setting spray as a primer? You'll notice that a lot of brands now actually don't have just one setting spray. They have a setting spray for dewy skin. They have a setting spray for matte skin. They have a setting spray with SPF in it. So there are all different types of setting sprays. What you want to do is you want to think about what kind of finish you're looking for. The two I'm going to talk about is the one you just saw, which is the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. This has a little bit of vitamin C and cactus flower water, so it's very soothing to the skin. I actually really like this formula a little bit more than the original. My skin really likes it. I don't have it in my kit. I actually use it on myself personally, and I use it in the same way that I was just telling you about, especially when it's hot. Now, if we're talking about making sure my makeup is bulletproof, doesn't move, doesn't budge, it's hotter than Hades outside, I'm going to Coachella. I'm not going to Coachella, and I want it to last from 8 a.m. until 12 a.m. the next day, I would reach for something like this, the One Size On Till Dawn setting spray. This stuff is amazing. I think, don't quote me on this, I think it's probably modeled after this Kryolan setting spray, which is what us pros used to use before this existed. It's an aerosol, which yes, can be a little bit aggressive, but it covers the whole face. It gives an even distribution. You don't have to worry about, sometimes the pumps on these can get clogged and they can kind of spit on you, and it's just not pleasant, and it can ruin your makeup, honestly. I always tell everybody if they have something like this to give it a really, really good shake before you use it, just to make sure. And also you can even prep it, like prime the pump before you do it, so then you can make sure that when you go in to use it, it doesn't disturb anything when you're setting the face. Like I said, I don't have any skincare on right now. We're just gonna give this a really good shake like I showed you. And I'm going to not drench the face, but I'm going to liberally apply this setting spray to my face right now. So my face is dry now. I'm gonna go in with my skincare. I talked about this in my previous video, how much I love, love, love this brand, but I'm just gonna use it again because it's what I've been using and it's what I've been loving under my makeup especially. This is the U Beauty Super Hydrator. I usually only really need a pump. It has hyaluronic in it along with peptides. It's so silky and hydrating, and my dried up desert living skin loves it. It doesn't make you produce more oil. If anything, it penetrates your skin and it gives you like that deep, deep hydration that I feel like most of us really, really need. In fact, if you're oily, you probably could use this. Try it at night and see if it makes a difference with your oil production. It could actually make your oil production go down, which would be great, right? I'm just gonna do an eye cream. This is the Return Eye Concentrate, also from U Beauty. I'm a convert, you know, I'm gonna use it until I stop loving it. I don't think I'm gonna stop loving it because I've seen such great results with it. We've already prepped our skin with our setting spray. We've used our moisturizer and our eye cream to prep everything. And now we wait. If you can. I know a lot of times I'm talking to people who are rushing out the door. They only have 5 minutes to get ready. If you have the time, do your skin prep and then chill out. Give it 5 minutes. Give it 10 minutes. Give it 15 minutes. I love the way makeup looks if I allow the moisturizer to penetrate for at least 10 to 15 minutes. So a lot of times what I'll do, specifically on my brides, I'll do their eyes first. By that time, you clean up under the eyes, you get the lashes on, the moisturizer has already penetrated the face and the skin's really happy and plump and just ready for makeup. You're gonna see a difference, I'm telling you. Something else I wanna mention, I did talk about it in my last video, but I'm gonna mention it here again, just in case you don't feel like going back to the video and trying to find it, is a technique that I like to use, especially on my oily skin types. This technique is amazing. The way that it's normally taught, I think you are supposed to use primer with it. But again, I am team no primer, so we're not gonna use primer. And I don't use primer when I use it, and it works really, really well. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a powder brush with some loose translucent powder, whatever powder you like to use. It's a setting powder. I have the e.l.f. one here. It's one of my favorites. It's finely milled, so it doesn't gather up on the skin, which I also love. I'll take this and dust it, kind of buff it all over the face. I've done this on myself and it does work, but it makes me look extra matte because, as we know, I am dry. It doesn't really work on me, but I've used it on oily clients. I've used it on the T-zone if I have someone who is combination skin. I've used it underneath the eyes if they get oily right in here or around the nose, and it's beautiful. After the powder, on a moisturized face, we take the setting spray and we liberally apply it all over on top of the powder. It doesn't really matter what setting spray you use. You could use either or. This one is going to get the face a little more wet, so you're going to have to wait for it to dry before you start going in with your makeup. But that also creates a very, very, very thin barrier between your skin and your makeup, and it works great every time. I'm gonna go ahead and do my face really quick. I'm gonna take the Haus Labs Triclone Foundation, put a little of it on the back of my hand, taking the IT Cosmetics foundation brush, it's my favorite, and I'm just gonna apply some foundation because I want to show you how we're going to set the face now that we've prepped it properly. This is also a good time to mention thinking about the formulas of your foundations. This Haus Labs foundation is definitely more of a satiny kind of finish, which is what I prefer on myself and my clients. Going in with my favorite concealer, this is the Tower 28 concealer. I think I've used this pretty much since the beginning of my channel. Taking the other side of the IT Cosmetics brush because it's genius and double-sided. And I'm just going to spot conceal under the eyes and in areas that I need. There is a reason why I keep using this Tower 28 concealer. It works. I haven't fallen in love with anything else just yet, so it remains my tried and true. It's Asian American female owned. She lives here in LA and it's a small business and the products are wonderful. Maybe I am partial because, you know, I'm a female business owner myself. Okay, so now we're gonna set the face and finish the makeup. These are also some really key steps if you want to make sure that your makeup lasts all day because we're not using a primer. Now, if you wanted to just set your face and go, you'd be in pretty good shape, I would say, because you've already used the moisturizing technique and then you've also used the setting spray to prep your face. But now I want to make sure that everything really stays in place and stays locked in. This is the setting spray from Huda Beauty. This is in Pound Cake. I have this little one because I have it in my kit. It's just easier to carry. I'm gonna dump some of that out onto a paper towel. I don't know if you can see it. Before I set anything, particularly under my eyes, I'm gonna make sure that I have no creases, my laugh lines under my eyes. I'm gonna take my powder brush, this is from Thrive Cosmetics, into the loose powder. And we're gonna go over the areas under the eyes and any of the areas that I wanna set. For me, it's the T-zone. Now, if my cheeks were more on the oily side, I would definitely take the powder up underneath the cheekbone, avoiding any contour or blush or anything that I would have, just to make sure that this was all locked in as well. I'm just gonna do it right now for good measure, just to show you. I didn't want to add anything else to my skin because I wanted to show you exactly the placement of how I do the powder. We've already gone over the specific areas of the face with loose powder with the brush. Now the second step is we're going to take a damp beauty blender. I do usually use these for makeup. I just didn't use it on myself because I really love using a brush. I don't always use a beauty blender on myself. I tend to use them more on clients and brides. It's just something that I prefer. I do tend to use a damp beauty blender for this very reason. So I'm going to take the beauty blender, and it is already wet. I've gotten it wet, and I'm going to take my setting spray. I'm just going to spray the beauty blender just a little bit just to get it on the surface. We've got the setting spray on the surface of the sponge. I'm going to take our powder. I'm going to dip the beauty blender in the powder, and then I'm going over the exact same places that I just set. Under my eye. This is essentially the same technique that I use with powder puffs. But the nice thing about using it with a damp beauty blender is that the moisture almost helps the powder to penetrate into the skin better. It's a different type of setting technique. It almost eliminates the powdery look instantaneously. So you know, if you go in with a powder puff, you'll see when you're baking, you'll actually see the powder on the face. There's so much less residue when you use this technique. And this technique in combination with everything else that we've done, you're gonna be locked in and your makeup is not going to budge. I know you can see a little bit of the powder on my face right there, but look, if you just keep tapping it in, it disappears. I don't really need it on my cheeks again because I'm more, normal to dry, but I just wanted to show you. And if you feel like you're a little bit too matte at this point, I'm going to take my setting spray again on my beauty blender and just tap over everywhere. That's going to pick up any excess powder, but really lock it in. But for those of you who are more combination, a little bit more oily, tend to just break through and get very shiny very quickly, I'd recommend another step and use a finishing powder instead of setting powder, because we don't want to keep just packing on setting powder and packing on setting powder. Especially if you're not 25 and you do have some lines under your eyes and on your face. You just don't want to keep going in with baking because that powder is going to settle into your fine lines and it's not going to do you any favors. So we're trying to avoid that. What I would recommend would be something like a very finely milled finishing powder. This is from Laneige. This is the Neo Essential Blurring Finish Powder. I don't even know if you can see it right here, but it's this little cushion compact. It comes with a powder puff. I don't know where it is because I have this in my kit, so I don't use the powder puff because I wouldn't reuse it. I don't know if you can see, but it is the most finely milled powder and it just disappears into the skin. And it's blurring, so it's perfect for touch-ups. It's perfect for any spots that are maybe breaking through with shine. You can take it with a brush, you can take it with a powder puff, you could take it with the beauty blender. Just press it in and then press it into the skin. When I'm doing touch-ups on set, when I am finishing a makeup, this just adds that kind of walking Instagram filter, and it is so, so gorgeous. Highly recommend this for anyone really, but if you're looking for that extra step to lock in the makeup before we go to the very last step, this is what you need. One last step, I promise, and then we're done. We're just gonna do another hit of setting spray. Now, when you're finishing your makeup with setting spray, I don't wanna see this. What good is that going to do? It's not going to do anything. It's like it's spitting on your face. Why are you going to buy this if you're not going to use it? So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the hair is out of the way, and we're going to mist our face liberally. What was that, like 8 pumps? I know you probably want to make this last as long as possible, but if you want it to do its job, you got to use it the right way. You got to make sure your face is pretty much wet after you've powdered, after you've done all of it. And once this dries, we are locked and loaded. We are ready for Coachella. I don't know why I keep saying that. I'm not going to Coachella. I don't want to go to Coachella unless somebody is performing and they need me to do their makeup. Then email me and we'll make that happen. So that's it. You don't need primers. You don't even need to do all of these steps that I just showed you. I just wanted to show you from beginning until end exactly what I do when I know someone's oily. It's really, really hot out. It's gonna be a long day and I'm not there for touch-ups. In all honesty, you will have to touch up your makeup throughout the day. It's just one of those things. You want to touch up because your makeup will inevitably settle into your face, into maybe some of your fine lines, and you're gonna wanna do a little bit of a refresh. But these techniques are going to help you not have to work so hard when you are touching up. As always, I hope this was helpful. And if you could do me a favor, just hit the like button and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I know there's probably going to be a ton of you in my comments saying, I love this primer. I love that primer. You're wrong when you say that primers are bad. I just don't like them. I think there is a better way to prep the skin, and primers, they just get in my way and I don't like the way the makeup looks. It's a personal preference and I'm just here to help out. That's it. If you're still with me and you want to keep watching, please check out this playlist right here. Thanks again for joining me today, and I will see you soon with a brand new video.